Basically, I believe that the two texts are here to give you a deep understanding on the way you are honoring you, your wife, and your family, Bezrat Hashem. And let's say the external aspect you can understand, but the deepest aspect will be for you. So we're going to see two small texts. The first one is the Siman Kav Gimel in Mishpatim Sefer Alikutim. Lo tevashel gedi b'chalav imo. So what do we know? I think we have said here, it's about Bassar Halav. But like you know, the Hakadosh, always we will go in another place. What is the secret of this animal? What does it mean not to cook? Gedi is the goat, the baby goat.
Yeah.
In the milk of his mother. We say like this. Da. כי כל 10 כתרים, תתאים, הם היו 10 דנוגה. He's starting straight. He said, you have to know that you have 10 keter. It's, I will try to explain, Eliezer. And they say there were 10 of Noga. What does it mean? Let's try to understand. We have the word of Asia. Let's say we have Keter. Keter. I do that, but my purpose is for you to look at this. We know that at the beginning, it was only Keter. It's high. It was like this. And so on, 10 Keter. And after, Shalom comes.
Shalom.
And after, we know that Keter and Malchut are connected. So, what I know is that the Keter of Asia become Malchut of Yetzirah.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So why are you telling me now that the Keter of Asia become something in Noga? Klipat Noga.
The Keter of Asia become
The 10 Ketarim, the 10 Keter of Asia become, they are connected to Klipat Noga. How do you connect this to that? Maybe you have to find a way to connect Keter of Asia to Malchut of Asia. Maybe. I don't want to answer. Just giving you the information. You'll find the answer by yourself. And they said, Ki em sod akshafim. They said, you know what the 10 Keter here? When they arrive here, they are the secret of witchcraft.
Uh-oh.
This
Sorcery.
who says this?
Who says this? Hakadosh.
Ah, okay.
In the Sefer Alikutim.
Okay. This is Likutim.
Yeah. He wrote 8 gates. Shmona Sharim. One of them is Likutim.
Okay.
So what does it mean? Keter, l'origine de la sorcellerie. Keter, the roots of sorcery. When it passes from ear to ear, look at this thing. Ve'ine, Aklipot nikra mavet. We know that the klipa is called death. On sait que la klipa s'appelle la mort. Et la reine, Amar, Mechashva lo tichye. So that's why it said, everybody will be caught doing sorcery will not survive, will have to die.
Right.
Why? Because when you do sorcery, you connect yourself to Klippa.
Right.
What is the Klippat Noga? Mavet, death.
Death itself.
That's why Mida can get Mida. You will have to be.
Then you bring death, so you have to.
But
die.
Noga is not necessarily a negative klipa, it's a neutral klipa, right?
We don't say neutral.
Ah.
It's more Chassidut.
Uh-huh,
We
okay.
say that we have two parts, one holy and one not holy, coming from the other three Klippot, which is connected to it.
So if it's the not holy part, it's death.
It's not what they're saying here. They don't want to make this difference.
Because how can you connect holiness to death?
This is the same. Because if you don't die, you don't achieve holiness. You need to die first. If you can't achieve holiness like this, we are called Eliezer or Hanoch. You have to die. The first stage of holiness is death. So what he said, Amar, now he's giving you more details. Da, you have to know. Ki bet, Chochma Bina Deza de Noga. So he said, now let's say, we are in Klippat Noga. In Klippat Noga, you have a partsufim. Arir, Abba, Ima, Za, and Nugva.
Right.
Okay? He said, you know what? If I go inside of Za,
Of the Klippa.
yeah, Za of Klippat Noga, we know that the Klippa, we just have two mochim. We
Right.
don't have three. We don't have that.
Right.
So he said, I go in Za, and we have here, inside of that, Chochma and Bina. So we are in the brain of Za of Klippat Noga. He said, you know what? Em Nikraim Azza ve'Azael. What their name? Azza, Azael.
Wow.
And he said, Vekla Luchneem Nikra Azazel. So the connection of both of them is Azazel.
That's the God of Yom Kippur.
Donc il dit quoi? Il dit, sache que quand tu vas dans la Klippat Noga, tu rentres dans le Vav de la Klippat Noga, qui est Za. Il a deux cerveaux. La Klippa n'a pas trois cerveaux, elle n'a que deux cerveaux. Ces deux cerveaux-là, il y en a un qui s'appelle Chochma, qui s'appelle Aza. L'autre qui s'appelle Bina, s'appelle Azael. La connexion des deux, qu'on appelle Choub. C'est quoi Choub? Chochma ou Bina, ça fait Azazel. Et comme il dit, c'est le nom du bouc émissaire que tu envoies à Kippour. So what he say here, he said both of them, Choub of Za, of Klippat Noga, it's called Azazel. What the connection with Bassar Halav?
Well, the goat.
Yes,
How? Because the goat can give milk, but it also has meat. So I don't know, like you have to tell me more like this first. For sure. But it's obvious that that's the connection. Like Azazel and Bassar and Halav has to be the connection.
The Halav is
Show me
Chesed.
something.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Halav is Chesed, and the
Yeah.
Bassar is the Gvura.
okay. Let
But
us see if
Chesed is connected to Chochma,
yes,
which is higher.
yes.
So, and then the Gevura, it's like the mother itself. So don't mix two. So by mixing,
So you say the Gvora is the mother of Chesed?
no. I'm sorry. The milk is Gevura Shebe. No, it's Chesed Shebe Gevura.
Milk is Chesed Shebe Gvora. Oh,
It's because milk. is
you're
Gevura.
saying
No, because milk.
we saw the breath. Remember the breath?
Right. It's Gevura.
What was milk?
Huh?
No, the breath is not Gvora. Remember what we said? We said you have breath and you have the hair here.
Right.
We saw it in the chapter of the brother of Moshe. One of
Right.
them.
Al-Midan.
Okay, so what the milk? We don't see that the breath is Gvora.
No, not the milk.
The milk.
The milk is the Gevura. Is a chesed from the Gevura. When it's considered
Chesed from the Gvora.
Maybe there's a better thing. If you could say that there's also goats in the blue box,
Yeah.
which you have two boxes on Yom Kippur. You have two goats on Yom Kippur.
Goats here.
Yeah, one goat there,
What?
one goat there.
You said that you bring Esav in that aspect of Asia.
Yeah.
If you put the goat of Yom Kippur that Eretz is that Am Yisrael gets there, and the goat of Azazel there, then Halav would be the goat of Israel, and Bassar would be the goat of.
No, because the God of Azazel is to feed them, and the God which is for God is to fix the sins of the people, to bring them back in the world of Kedusha. So you can never have goats here.
Okay. So that I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is that maybe it's Halav, the God of Hashem, and Bassar, if it's the din, if you guys say that, then that would be the Asalel, which you're killing, you're dying.
I'm hearing, that's it.
Maybe the goat represent one, Asa, and the milk, like one of them, the other represent
So now explain to me, why is it forbidden? Why is it forbidden to mix it?
You cannot mix it.
No, because when you mix Asa and Azazel, it gives you. No, I mean when you mix Asa and what's the other name, right?
Asa and Azazel.
And Azazel, it gives you Azazel. So that's why you don't mix those two together.
I don't know. Because at the end, the purpose for you and me is forbidden to mix milk and let's say the aspect of Bassar. So it seems to be something here, we don't know yet, that maybe milk can never be here.
Right.
This is why I said it had to be net box, in the blue box.
Let's see.
There's something has to be in the blue box. So.
Let's see. I'll agree with you. Let's see. נקרא עזאזל. ולכן, so that's why אלו העזים, that's goats, אלו העזים הם דינים חזק, ועוד דינים. So what is the goat? C'est quoi le bassar? What is the bassar? It's chokhmah and bina of za of klipat noga.
So the goat is Azazel itself. If you want to put it down.
I just have to go. No, what I want you to know is bassar. Bassar is the goat. The goat is brain. Mochin. Chokhmah ubina. Za de klipat noga. So don't think that when you eat meat, you are eating with your mouth only. You also eat with your brain.
Wow.
You bring to serve something.
Wow.
This is the Chidush of Ari here. It says there's nothing to do only with the food. It's connected to the mochin. C'est connecté au mochin, c'est pas que tu n'as pas à voir qu'à le manger. And he said, so now we have one other tradition. Pasuk say that we know the God who is having the breastfeeding from the milk of his mother. What does it mean? En fait, manger de la viande, c'est pas que manger de la viande, c'est pas que mettre un élément physique dans sa bouche. C'est se connecter à des mochines, à des cerveaux. Dès qu'on parle de mochines, on parle aussi de façon de penser, façon de faire. Donc c'est quoi ne pas mélanger le lait et la viande? C'est pas que je prends ma viande, je la cuis dans du beurre, chas shalom. C'est qu'est-ce que ça veut dire derrière? J'attaque directement la pensée, la logique de vie de quelqu'un. On va le voir, il va expliquer. Il va expliquer. And he said that. Mais où Chokhmah de za de noga de atilut. So he said, what is Halav imo? Halav imo, this is Chokhmah of za, of noga of atilut. Let's make it. We have Asya here. We have Asya here. We have Itzira, Bria, and Atzilut. Behind Atzilut, we have Klipat Noga here. In that Klipat Noga of Atzilut, we have 8 Partsufim, 5 Partsufim. We have Arir, Abba, Ima, Za. Aged Viza is the Za of Klipat Noga of Atzilut. Yad Chokhmah and Bina. Right? And this Chokhmah is the Halav.
On parle de Kripa encore, n'est-ce pas?
Again, Klipat Noga. But we know we have Klipat Noga in Atzilut, in Bria, in Yetzirah, in Asya. And we have also Klipat Noga behind Asya, down. So now you say, what is the Halav? The Halav is the brain. Chokhmah le Halav, c'est la Chokhmah de Za of Klipat Noga Atzilut, which go and feed here.
C'est feed
The goat. He feeds the goat.
Bassar.
He's talking about the goat having a breastfeeding from the milk of his mother.
I got a little nice here when on this dans ce schéma-là. Okay, Bassar is the Bassar is
Azaz.
yes. C'est okay.
Okay.
Understood. And okay, you said, can you explain again about the brain of the tools right here from the Halav? I got to slide right.
I'll start again. You have to know your classics to follow now, because it's become hard. We know that we have Atzilut, Bria, Yetzirah, Asya. We know that behind all the world we have Klipot.
Yes.
Klipa de Atzilut, Klipa de Bria, Klipa de Yetzirah, Klipa de Asya.
Yes.
Okay? You should remember what we studied in Pitouye Rashbi. We know that there's difference between the Klipa behind Bia and the Klipa of Atzilut.
Yes.
Remember? Anshe Meraglim, Shazonot, Tziporim. Remember? What did we say? Let's say this is Klipat Noga of Atzilut. Of Atzilut. What did we saw? We saw that in the 5 Partsufim, only 2 are touched in Atzilut. It means that in the Klipat Noga of Atzilut, Abba, Ima, and Arir, they are good. You go in Atzilut, Klipat Noga, you're on the Klipa, they are okay.
Right.
The problem in Atzilut is only in Za and Nukva.
Right.
They are infected.
Are you saying, Raf, that we should not let the klipa of Asiya be nurtured by the klipa of Atzilut?
Thank you.
That's what he's saying.
And after we saw that the lower you go, the more infected are the Partsufim. In that level, you have infected Nuk, Za, and Bina. In that level, you are affected Nuk, Za, Bina, and Chokhmah. And in that level of Asya, all the 5 Partsufim are infected. This is the logical we saw. So he said, now when you go in Za here, you have Chokhmah and Bina. Okay, Rabbi Zohar? And that Chokhmah of Za, of Klipat Noga, of Atzilut, this is the milk.
The Chokhmah of Za, of Klipat Noga, of Atzilut.
This is the milk.
Okay.
Okay? What is the other name? What is the other name of them? No, of Bina and Chokhmah of Za and Atzilut. No. No. Meraglim.
Meraglim.
Yes. This is Halav and Pinchas. So both of them, we saw in the Kitve Rashbi, it's called Anshe Mechaglim. But only one of them is called milk, the Chokhmah. And when it comes about Nukva, it's become the Nashim Zonot. No, sorry, it's not Nashim it's become the Tziporim, the birds. And all these, Nashim Zonot, prostitute. So he said, and here, you have the Klipat Noga. Let's say you have 7 Shivarikim, okay? And you have Klipat Noga. And in the Klipat Noga, we are dealing with Za and Nukva. And we saw that inside of Za, the 2 brain, Chokhmah Bina, they are called Aza and Azael. In Za of Klipat Noga.
In Zaya.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's happened? They say, what is when the baby goat is getting a breastfeeding from the milk? Is you, or the situation is, the baby goat, let's say, is breastfeeding from this.
But is it like taking the 2 parts and they both get milk at the same time, or one gets more milk than the other, or only one of them gets milk?
I think it's the same. It's in the same time because they become one as a zen.
Rabbi, this is not the Klipat Noga of Asher. This is the Klipat Noga itself.
Itself.
So, yeah. It's a Klipat Noga itself.
And they said, yeah.
But that's also Klipat Noga, absolutely. So how can you say it's Klipat Noga itself if it's on the bottom?
Because you have everything is in everything. It means that you have Klippa in every part of the creation because of the sin of Adam Rishon.
Okay.
So what does it mean you have Klippa? Does it mean that, let's say, Atsu was perfect and suddenly the Klippa was created?
Right.
Let's say yes. But how? Somebody has to give something. So basically you give access to Klippat Noga to a higher place.
It has to feed off Asiya, right? It cannot like exist by itself. It has to
No, let's take it a step back. The first question is to understand, how is it possible we have Klippot here? Because God created things perfect. You have the Olamot of Dusha, you have the 7 firmament, Rekim, and you have the Klippa. How is it possible that the Klippa achieved that place? We let it enter by the sin of Adam Rishon. So how is it possible to find Klippat Noga here? Does that mean that Klippat Noga was existing here? No, Klippat Noga was brought here by the sin.
Okay.
So Klippat Noga is like he's sending ambassadors. I say one ambassador here, one here, one here, one here, and I myself am Klippat Noga.
That's the storage place, right there.
Exactly, here.
But then Hashem created that.
Of course, everything was created by Him.
And that exists by itself without it feeding of something. That's
when God created it, the purpose for it was to be fed from outside.
Yes, but where
not
where
from inside.
But where does it feed from? You said like it's by itself, but the way I understood Klipot is like it has to feed off something. So where is it?
No, because God created things in the logical that all the creation have to be fed. Let's take one example. If I take the name of God in Milui, Yud K, let's say Ab, Yud K, Vav K. We get it? You know this name? So we know that the Milui have been created to feed the Klipot. What is the Milui? Vav Dalet, Yud, Vav Yud, Yud. So the letter, the roots letter, they are here for feeding the Kedusha. So from the beginning, everything is perfectly built. You just need to stay on your place, Adam Rishon, not to mix up with the Nachash, and the Vav Dalet, Yud, Vav Yud, Yud will go and feed him. But the Nachash want to be fed by the roots. It's normal. Who can accept to be the second place? To be like a second society, second gender? Nobody. So the Nachash is making his role. So let me try to be fit from inside. But for the very beginning, everything was done like this. Even yourself and myself, so for the example, we eat, we feed our nefesh ba'amit, let's say. But after we go to the toilet, we feed them. This is the middle we said. So everything was done perfectly. What God needs us to do is to keep each one on his place. Not to let the insider to go outside, and then not to let the outsider to go inside. This is the secret of Nachash.
But then we say that evil can exist independent of, let's say, the Kedusha, that's reality. Like that you accept that statement.
No, I don't accept. I bring the text of the Chachamim. The Chachamim said that the evil, the klipa, the sitra achara, is the firstborn, right? It is the firstborn. It's the bechor. It has to be a klipa. What is the klipa? The purpose of the klipa is to protect the fruit.
Right.
If I give you this banana with many things, you will eat it? No. You say it's not, maybe not healthy because the klipa is not here. But when I see the klipa standing on the fruit, I see, yeah, the fruit inside is healthy for me. That's why I can eat it. The purpose of the klipa has never been to fight you and me. The purpose of the klipa has never been to be our enemies. The purpose of the klipa is to keep us in the area of Dusha and to test us if we do deserve that Torah. It's only when we start to miss out that they become fighters. Not there. The creation we did with our action, thought, and speech that become fighters, accusators. But their role is to protect the fruit. Je dis en fait que la clipa n'a jamais été créée pour faire du mal. La clipa, elle a été créée pour protéger le fruit. Penser qu'en fait le mal existe de lui-même et qu'il a été là pour nous attaquer, c'est faux. Dieu a créé le mal dans un objectif de le laisser à l'extérieur, qu'il puisse être nourri de l'extérieur, parce qu'on appelle les milouïm. Le vav dalet, le he, le yud, pardon, le yud vav et le yud. Donc il dit, tout le but ici, ça a toujours été que la clipa, elle soit nourrie quand tout est en place. Mais pas de les faire rentrer à l'intérieur, pas de fauter en fait. Parce que lui se demandait comment le mal existe de lui-même, comment ça fonctionne. Non. Le mal n'a jamais été créé pour nous faire du mal. Le mal a été créé pour protéger le fruit. C'est nous, la Torah, en Israël.
Based on this sketch, I understand one thing. So I understand how the person would sit. So the klipa is here to protect it. So when you look at this fruit, you say based on this klipa, you could understand what level the person is inside.
You can understand what is the state
of the person
of the fruit
of the inside. Because if the klipa is sick like this, if the klipa is this, that means you can understand that for sure the neshama is not so well.
Will not be so close there. I'm just telling you that the quality of your klipa is defining the quality of your soul. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's why we saw in the Kitvari, the more you sin, the more you make damage to who? Malachamavet. When one Jewish makes sins, what's happened? You just bring damage to one of the eyes, one of the 630 eyes of Malachamavet. What does it mean? I thought Malachamavet was here to be happy when I'm sinning. No. When you sin, you kill him.
Really?
Of course. It's your klipa. So what do you do? Be holy. Let him be like he was created with 630 eyes. Right. What you see, you will make him blind on 20 eyes. Right. So make your Torah, make your Kedusha. So let's go back.
Every person has their own Malachamavet?
Yes. So he said, Betartav. What is tartav? Under. So we seem to talk now about the mochin of Mukva. So Betartav hem shne nashim zonot. They are the two prostitutes. Here, who are them? Nama et Agrat. Donc il dit en dessous de Za de Nukva de Klipa, Noga, Za of Klipat Noga, you have Nukva of Klipat Noga. Also, we have Chochmah and Bina. And that Chochmah and Bina, they are the two Nashim, the two prostitutes. All of them, Agrat and Naama. And he said, Bet Mochin, the Bia. The two Mochin of Bia. Okay, let's make it simple. ועליהם נאמר ונוקשיו מעולל, כי עולל. What does it mean? חוכמה דזה דנוגה דאצילות, ויונק בינה דנוגה דזה דאצילות, והוא יונק מהם הילאה מלכות דאצילות דקדושה, וממנה נמשך לנשים זונות, לבריאה. I make it simple. What is to mix Bassar and Halav? C'est quoi de mixer le Bassar et Halav? Is to bring them to be fed by that. When Azza and Azael, they are fed by this, we called it the baby goat getting his breastfeeding. It's natural, normal, right? Mm-hmm. But when the Nashim Zonot, the two Mochin of Zonot, so go back to our text. What is the two Mochin Zonot? When you give them access, bypassing by Azael and achieving that milk, this is to build baby goats in the milk, to build, to cook. Mm-hmm. This is Asur.
So Abia is basically surrounded or connected to the Klipat Nova below, right? Like Abia is like 1 unit, the Klipat Nova below is 1 unit, correct?
Abia at Shubir.
Yeah, and Klipat Nova is like 1. So
yeah.
It's like one like state and another state.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. So what is to mix Bassar and Halav? Is to give to Azar the Azael and to two Nashim Zonot the same food.
The same food as Azar is Azar.
What does it mean?
Yes.
Because the Chassidut said it's not mixed chesed and not mixed chesed with Gvura. We got it. But here we are making a very bigger map. What does it mean to mix chesed and Gvura when you cook the baby goat in the milk? What is Klipat Noga of Atzilut?
It's a very high place.
Very high. What is that? Anshe Meraglim. All of them. Holy. Kalev Pinchas. Yehoshua Kalev. You have higher than that? No. They can go in the Klipa. C'est quoi ça? C'est Kalev, Pinchas. C'est Pinchas, Kalev et Yehoshua. Les Meraglim. C'est très haut la Klipat Noga d'Atzilut. It's very high. And he said, this, you feeding the Azazel, we got it, no problem, it's natural. But don't feed the Nashim Zonot. It says the brain, Chochmah Bina, of Nukva, Kipat Mona. Oui, il y a un rapport avec les arbres.
So you can give milk from that place to that place, but you cannot bring that place to that place.
You can bring, always you feed from the top to the bottom.
Right. So
we can feed, no problem here.
No, you can feed.
But not this one.
You cannot feed that?
Okay.
Les devoirs du Zera
Aussi. Vous les connecter. Because, first of all, we saw it for a few weeks. What does it mean? We understand what is the milk. Keep in mind, Chochmah. C'est quoi la Chochmah? Zera, you're right, t'as raison. Ken. Mais c'est quoi la chokhmah? Chokhmah de Torah. We saw it together. Don't say solve. Don't say solve. People who are not able to listen to that. I don't know if it was recorded, but we studied before 2 weeks. This is the secret of Bassar Halav. When you give chokhmah, give it to Azazel. Why? Because we know how to fix him. We take one on Kippur and we... Okay. But don't give to the Nassim Zonot. This is the first advice, Rabbi Shlomo. What is not to cook? Bassar Gedi B'Chafinu, don't reveal. That's why you will find Rabbi Yirmiyahu, Mar Yehuda, they are silent. They always. What you know, what you have understood, especially in Tsfat, want to succeed, be careful, always check if you are in front of Mochin, Azael, or in front of Nashim Zonot. C'est le secret de Bassar. Ne dévoile pas de secret à des gens qui ont des mourchines de prostitution.
Obviously, it's probably difficult, which is why it's better to just stay silent. But are there ways?
One of the ways is when you see someone, the feminine aspect is too obvious. Not like, no, this is a joke. No, I'm thinking about the way to study. You know, always in the time. You see that the needles are not fixed. The women will accept. I'm worried, how will we pay the rental? It's women, we accept. We accept. And when it's your man, Tamid Chacham, say, Rabbi, what do you have? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to pay this. Or maybe here. Mochin Zonot. Always worry.
But the woman can put that on you, of course.
Yeah.
That's the husband.
That's why you have to be careful. Sure. Yeah. That's why husband have to study. To be like a shield around his brain.
What do you mean by
C'est quand tu vois une dimension féminine trop exacerbée. L'inquiétude. C'est quelqu'un qui n'est pas censé être une femme. Tu vas trop dans le temps. Des minutes pas au vote. Parce qu'on accepte que les femmes elles sont un peu égoïstes, elles crient un peu. On accepte ça. Pas d'autre sadique. Si tu commences à voir ça chez un homme qui enseigne, étudie ou prétend comprendre ça, comprends peut-être que tu es en train de faire face à quelqu'un qui a des mots-crimes zonotes. Et là, il ne faut pas donner le son. This is the milk. So for sure, the halacha is don't use your diary plates in your, but when we are going deep here, very deep. Most of the people on Tsfat, why they turn off? Because of that.
Turn off?
Yeah.
What's
They're here, not there. You know, they can talk to you 1 hour, you cannot understand what they tell you.
Why?
You start to talk, you say,
Because
you know what? The banana is the fruit, but the fruit is everything, and everything is God, and God is the milk, but the milk is not the banana. What's happening? It's not their fault. Because they fed them. If you feed them, they are not joking.
How was Rav Pitouye able to allow people just to come in off the street? He would just continue his lectures, and he felt that in a certain sense, the Zonot have a way of, he was on a certain madrega, or he was able to give over the words in a levush.
I really think, it's my personal opinion, that Rav Kaduri was operating from that level.
Okay.
That's why he can feed them straight.
Okay.
How do I know it? Because many things he said, it's always borderline, you know.
Okay.
He said that.
Okay.
He said borderline.
So that was his tap. So his purpose was to give over to them.
And with all the love I have also for my brothers, I also think that the Chabad, they are working that level.
Okay.
That's why they can connect with people who are so far. Just came, so blessing. And sometimes even you, it's even on your shoulders. Okay, one time, but every day. Going in the beach and seeing them dancing and after putting the film. What's your head?
You're feeling the zonot or what?
They are trying to fix them. They are fixing them.
Okay, fix them.
Yeah.
How?
And that is a strategy.
They're like Yeshua Ben Nun then.
Yes.
They're fixing
But you can
Rachav.
fix them?
You can fix them.
Rachav.
Avec Chassidut have his own strategy.
Rachav.
The Chabad, it's like you go and put the tefillin. No matter what. Even a bit, go, put them the tefillin. They try to fix them.
So then they get fixed. Then they get fixed. I mean, you said try to fix them, but you don't saw whether they get
It's a
fixed.
very, very hard stuff. It's very hard.
What about Moshe Rabbeinu? He was in Atzilut, and he was always having trouble with how we're going to eat, how we're going to get water, how we're going to have food. This is the whole thing.
No, I'm telling you because this is the next point. We're going to say something.
Excuse-moi, tu dis qu'avant d'enseigner, il faut fixer, il faut réparer ça.
Non, avant de donner un secret de Torah,
Ouais.
vérifie à qui tu parles.
Ouais.
Vérifie que la personne n'est pas dans une dimension où sa logique de réflexion, on l'appellerait zonote.
Ah, mais ça, j'ai compris maintenant. Expliquer, j'ai perçu. Et quand tu dis que, par exemple, tu peux mettre alors avec les filles, enfin, c'est pour les
Non, je ne disais pas ça, je disais ce qui est demandé par Rav Kadori. Il pouvait laisser rentrer des gens un peu fous dans son chiot. Mais il était où dans tout ça? Parce que tu laisses rentrer un fou, tu sais très bien qu'il n'est pas apte à entendre ta Torah. Je dis, moi, je pense simplement que Rav Kadori, il opérait ici. Il était au niveau de Za de Nugdatit. Il faisait des choses là-bas. C'est ça qu'il fumait. Au smoke, et quand il fumait, il réparait les chameaux de Shoah. Il était à un niveau. No one is like him. It's like you go in the Torah, tu vas dans la Torah, dans le Brachot, tu demandes à Rabban Gamliel. Ah, Rabban Gamliel t'a dit qu'il ne fallait pas se doucher quand on est en deuil. Mais moi, je ne suis pas comme vous. Il dit comme ça. Ah, Rabban, you said that the first night of the wedding, you're not chayav of kachma. Yes, but I'm not like you. This is the level. This is. Et après, il a dit qu'il y a un autre mouvement, les Chabad, hein, tu vois qu'ils travaillent beaucoup ici. Ils sont toujours très limites comme ça. Ils vont chercher des gens très très loin et disent des trucs très profonds. Mais tu vois, ils savent le faire, c'est leur route. Mais chacun a une manière de se connecter là. But the first thing I'm telling to Rabbi Shlomo, c'est when you go there, be careful. Because once Ari say one time it's time to go to Jerusalem, if you want to stay next to him, know how to keep.
C'est en discussion, c'est quoi le risque?
Le risque, c'est que tu nourrisses les mochines de Zonot et qu'après elles se renforcent et que ça y est, ça s'appelle faire cuire le lait dans la viande.
Wow.
If you do that, you ask me what's happening if I do that. Et c'est sur le Hakadosh, it's called to cook. Bassar Gedi, Halav.
Tu
Les
mélanges,
carettes.
tu mélanges et c'est.
Carettes. C'est carrette. La punition de ça, c'est carrette.
Lama karet, because it's not a penalty in Torah, right?
Oh, the Minatorah, if I take a goat
Yes.
and I take the milk, I cook it, and I say, you know what? I'm going to take a goat, I'm going to take a milk, I'm going to cook them. It's carrot.
You mean you can throw it away? That's what you mean.
No, it means that your soul is released from the...
Wait a moment, but that's not a penalty in Torah, man.
It is.
Like Malchus.
For the Doraita,
You get Malchus.
Oui, c'est carrette.
for the actual Doraita, the mother with its own kid,
Actually taking.
Get karet?
getting a shit.
Eating a
Big
cheeseburger is not the right.
No,
Big chiddush.
Arrête.
I never knew this. Big chiddush.
It doesn't say it.
So in Gemara, that's what they say.
Take the chumash. That's not the chumash.
Where do we see the din that it's karet?
Français ou?
There you
Comment
go.
en français, en anglais?
I think from the more they say it's Malchus.
No, but that's beef
Yeah, that's what.
with stam cheese, stam.
Right.
But the actual, its own mother with its own kid,
And a goat.
and specifically a goat with its own mother's milk.
Where, guys? Let's be done.
Yeah, no, it's good.
C'est-à-dire qu'en fait, quelque part, tu alimenterais les forces du mal en laissant des secrets.
Pire que ça. Ouais. Quand tu leur donnes des secrets qui sont pas méritants, tu bloques beaucoup de choses.
Tu bloques.
Mishnah Yomit, Machlokes, prohibitions, Bassar Halav.
Parce que tu veux dire que tu as accès à des secrets alors que tu n'as pas réparé.
C'est pire que ça. Tu nourris la clipa avec des secrets qu'elle ne devait pas accéder.
Elle n'est pas censée le savoir et elle en a connaissance.
Elle n'est même pas censée savoir que ça existe.
Est-ce qu'il y a Chivas pour ça?
Bien, il y a Tikkunim. Pour moi, le passage que. Mon téléphone.
Ah, yeah, from Charles.
Ah, c'est bon.
No, I didn't. There's still good time. Yeah, more than now.
Tu veux monter 2003?
Ah, ouais, bon,
No, I know you didn't do it. It's just thing
So.
of this stuff.
It's Rabbi Pinchas. It's the tefillin Rabbi Pinchas. Let me finish. I know you mentioned one back you want to use checks.
Yeah. Je peux aller à celui-là et je t'apporte le mien.
Pourquoi le mien?
Ok. Lui, il m'a remis ça.
Tu vas prier?
Moi, je vais prier. Mais après, est-ce que je peux prendre ça et jusqu'à temps que petit qui
You want to play now or what?
no. Just getting started.
Okay. Warming up.
Yes.
לא, אם אמרת בחמץ בפסח שחייבים עליו כרת, תאמר בבשר בחלב שאין חייב עליו אלא כרת.
איפה?
I can send you the link.
Okay. What's your WhatsApp?
Make the WhatsApp of the group.
Okay.
It is על התורה, it is all the link.
What's anyone else WhatsApp here?
Yes, I can add it.
Oh, you know my phone number. Okay, so it's +31 for Holland.
Plus
And,
31.
+31 and 684 379762.
9762.
Yeah.
Motion.
Moshe Okeman.
I send it in the group.
Yeah, send it to please.
C'est bien textué. It's good or
Okay. Okay.
So let's finish this small part. נעול על חוכמה דזה דנוגע דאצילות ויונק בינאה דנוגע דזה דאצילות והוא יונק מהם הילאה מלכות דאצילות קדושה. So what's happened basically? C'est by doing that, en faisant ça, what did you create it? We are in Atzilut. We also have 5 Partufim, which are Arir, Abba, Ima, Za, and Nukva.
What's the first one? Aria? Arich, okay.
So what's happened? We know that the Nukva of Atzilut, she had Dede Be'ema. She had the breath of animals, the chest of animals. They're going down. On sait qu'elle a les seins d'animal. To feed the klipa. So what happened? How are we feed? Comment ils sont nourris eux? Par Nukva of Atzilut. So when it's only them, it's not a problem. But when that milk, quand ce lait-là, from here, achieve that level, we have problem. This is Halavimo. It said we don't want this. What does it mean we're going to sing? I'm just building the question. And he said, and from that place, it arrived to the Nasim Zonot, which are the brain of Nukva of Klipat Noga. Donc il dit de là, tu as nourri ça et tu as fait arriver ce lait-là qui était dans Nukva, dans les cerveaux de la Nukva de Klipat Noga. ואז נשים מושלמים, יאחר שלקחו השפע על ידי הגדול, ולכן גדול עונש של האוכל בשר בחלב. Donc il dit, comme tu as causé qu'ils ont reçu quelque chose de grand, c'est que la punition elle est grande. C'est because you brought that situation to exist, them being faith that something so high, that's why your punishment will be so elevated.
Wow.
What did we get? Let's get something. The final part of this. This is for you, additional. You keep the same page, you go one page back. Siman Kaf Bet. Vekhi Ipate Ish Betula. You know this halakha? Kaf Bet, Vekhi Ipate Ish Betula.
C'est dessus. C'est faut m'expliquer.
Gotta marry her.
You gotta marry her. What does it mean? What does it mean? When you will seduce a virgin woman, quand tu vas séduire une femme vierge, what's the connection between this and that? Rabbi Shlomo, listen well. Onesh amepate. What is the punishment for this one who seduces? C'est quoi la punition de celui qui séduit une fille vierge? L'otier, l'Aïcha. What is the punishment? She will be your wife.
Forever.
Ta punition, c'est qu'elle sera ta femme. Ah, elle est vierge. Tu l'as séduit. Ta punition, c'est que tu dois la marier. That's the connection, right? The light is outside. Sorry, we didn't tell you. The light is outside.
Comme c'est une punition mariée.
Ici, dans ce cas, oui. Pourquoi tu l'as séduit? Tu ne voulais pas la marier, tu voulais juste profiter d'elle. Why did you marry her? What did you do seduction? You don't want to marry her. You want to profit of a situation being virgin. So the wedding is a punishment.
Oh.
Because you never planned to marry her.
Ah. C'est con.
You get it? C'est da. Qui colle Pitouye ou Benugva debria de Nogar. Ah. You see, Rabbi Shlomo? Every seduction is in Nugva of Bria of Klipat Noga. Mochin Zonot. Si on regarde, tu vas voir Rabbi David. Il fait la notion de séduction, ça se trouve dans les cerveaux de la Nugva qui est dans la Klipat Noga. Les femmes prostituées.
Que chez les vierges.
Hein?
Que chez les pilotes.
In the case of the Betulot, yes. In the case where you have one Betula, you have to know, what is the Betula here? Yes, of course, it's like Bassar Halav, it's milk and Bassar, but what is Betula here? C'est quoi une Betula ici? C'est quoi une vierge ici? So he said, know that every seduction, Pitouye, called Pitouye, it's in Nugva of Bria of Noga. Of Noga. Be ready. Shlomo. I'm telling you the truth because we are family. You know where was the last big scandal in the world of Mikubalim? It was in Tsfat. You know what's happened there? The Rabbi Rashi, Rav Shmuel Eliyahu, the son of Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, is the Rabbi Rashi Tsfat. He said about this sage, he said, we call him Oto Ish. We even not say his name again. The rabbi had yeshivot and yeshivot, students. Even had books from his yeshiva. 20 years of mamzerim with the wife of his students.
What? Sorry? 20 years off? Mamzerim?
This
Ah,
was one of the biggest shows we ever had. And that when they caught him, was threatening the policeman, say, I will make kebab masit on you if you touch me. See? How the story comes out?
This was the son of Rabbi Mordechai?
No. The son of Mordechai is the rabbi who failed it before 20 years. He failed it. That something was wrong with that yeshiva.
That's right. You can do it in 30 seconds.
So how the story comes out? Because one day, one student was talking to his wife. He said, how do you feel? I don't feel so good. He said, you know what, go and see a rabbi. If you don't understand that rabbi is the problem, this is how the story comes out. How many couple? More than 80. More than 80 couples were concerned. We're in Tsfat, holy city, right? Many mamzer, how many mamzerim, we don't know. Till now, people are so sensitive about this situation.
Wait, and they went to Beit Din and they like...
It's too big. Not bad deal. The guy is not saying that he's not guilty, was on the television. Just the hardest part was to fix the students who were so hurt. Many of them went to Abi Ramya. At that moment, he opened a little bit because he's an only man, but he opened to receive people, not to think that this is Torah, this is Kabbalah. Talking about someone who published Sidurim, Kavanot, everything. That's why I say when you feed the mochin of Zonot, it's terrible. Speak me. You see?
But it seems like you feel him from the mikvah of the Bria.
That's why I need wives. I need women. That's why the sage will always tell you, you start to study this, be careful with women.
But your chart said they were on a different level. They were below. This is Bria, it's higher level. So it's like seduction happens here and then it goes down.
Say seduction is it's not in the olam of emet. You don't seduce.
Right.
You bring the truth and you connect with yourself.
Checker.
So when I try to seduce, I bring the aspect of shaking. It's like I take a knowledge of lower word and I try to bring it here and to make it a hawk. This is forbidden. It's like me if I'm here and let's say I try amazing Torah is said here. Seduction.
You see these people, they turn it into pop Torah.
Yeah.
They make it like
It's a problem.
a sexy thing, retreats and meditation. All
Yeah.
this.
That's what one sage told me. He told me, because we never study tradition by WhatsApp. I smile a little bit and I said, why do you say that? No, because now the Mekubalim are on WhatsApp. So, what does it mean? Say, this Torah is face to face. That's why even if I know it will connect in the Zoom, that's not the
It's
same.
not the same.
Not the same.
You cannot feel the person, they say.
Yeah, it's the dynamic is not the same. And I will come, I know. But something is over today. But something is born today also. You have to take both of them. But they say, keep in mind, Mekubalim is not on WhatsApp. Yes, I can send you the picture of the text. This is not Kabbalah. Kabbalah is Papa WhatsApp.
I want to tell you, Torah is not to WhatsApp too.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
here.
It's not Kabbalah, it's Torah.
It's sitting,
Torah.
coming, feeling
No.
people, suffering together.
Bassar is an intermediary.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Exactly.
So Kabbalah was never done through Tshuvot, through letters.
The real one, he was sitting, Balabait to tell your rabbi. Learn from all actions. Letters only for Chachamim.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not teaching. It's trying to give you the test of what's happening in the area. There is, we find here, let's say, a woman doing chatzot. Yes, I sent it to you. Maybe you never saw that. I saw it.
Oh, but you teach
But-
me
But no,
things
but that's
through
why
letters.
even the Ben Ish Chai, he says, when I went to Yerushalayim and I went to the Kabbalah, I saw this and this and this.
Yes. The letters are not in the perspective or the purpose of teaching.
The
It's
never
to inform,
to inform.
to be one arm.
Okay.
Like say, Rabbi Pinas, I was in Tsfat, I went to letter because here I saw, let's
But
say,
wait a minute. You have the famous letters of, I think, like Moshe Nachman, Nachon to his son.
yes, the
That's
letter.
teaching.
Yes.
Or the Gra to his
What do
to
you
his
call
daughter,
teaching?
whatever.
What do you call teaching? Is there a Eretz, Chochmat Chaim, or to give you an understanding of a text, of a word that will not be given from, except from mouth to ear? I can write a letter teaching my son how to be good men, but this is not teaching.
The teaching is more in what he doesn't say than what he does say. So he's giving over even the svarim that we should say, oh yeah, of course this is the teaching. They're like the subject headings. The real meat of the limud, it happens in your mind. And again, that's what he's saying. Don't give it over. It always stays a sod.
It's like people buying all this
Nice.
book and think that they're going to be taught by Arakadosh. No, this is letters. If you don't have a Masoret explaining you how to understand this, you don't get the teaching. You have all the information. Where do you get the teaching?
Oh yeah, beautiful.
So I said, what is the Pitouye seduction? It's coming from Nukva. La séduction vient de Nukva de Klippa. Don't be seductive. Don't go to Italia. Don't learn how to seduce. This is catastrophe.
Mhm.
This is feeding. It's like you take the Bassar and Halav. And let's say, oh yeah, your Chokhmah is good. Yes, because it's written in our Torah that women are that girl. Here is. You take Bassar Halav, you're mixed. Don't enter into that. And c'est Veinyan. Ki nefesh wa neshama de biya, de bria, de noga'a nikra orla. He say, you know what? Nefesh, ruach, neshama, of bria, yetira, asiya, of noga, ve'akol, orla. What is that? We saw it last week. This is Bela, Yovav, and Husham. So he said these three kings, they build the soul, Nefesh wa Neshama, that we saw from Bia, not from Atzilut. And so when you're in that case, you saw this called Orla. Everything in your life is only sex. Sorry for the language. But he said, Venikra Or, they are called the skin. They are called also the skin. Donc il dit, on a vu la semaine dernière, tu peux avoir une âme, Rabbi David, qui vient de Bria, de Tira Asia. Elle ne vient pas d'Atilut. On avait vu deux catégories. Soit ton âme, elle vient de Bria et Tira Asia, et ça vient des trois rois, Bela, Yovav et Husham. Ou ton âme, elle vient d'Atilut. À ce moment-là, ton effet vient de Malchut d'Atilut. Ton roi vient de Tiferet d'Atilut. Ta Neshama vient de Bria, de Bina d'Atilut. Et ta Chaya de Chochma d'Atilut. Et ta Echida de Achir d'Atilut. Mais si tu viens d'en dessous, c'est nothing. We saw it last week. We saw that you have two categories of people. You have people being fulfilled by Nefesh War Neshama. And you saw all the kids vary is you fix Nefesh War Neshama, we deal with Nefesh War Neshama. But we saw that this was created from the creation of 3 words. What are the 3 words? After the sin of Atzilut, 3 words were created. 3 kings. Bela, Yovav, and Husham. And they are basically the roots of all our souls. 3 of them are Yovav is the right side of the dad, Husham the left side of the dad, and Bela is connecting both of them. They are that. So what does it mean? We are from, where are we from? So it's simple. Or you came from Bria Etira Asia with your Nefesh from Neshama, or you came from Atzilut. 2 different life. It was all the purpose of the limud last week, to see what is the secret of Evet Divri, Ama Ivriya, and Shifra Knanit. This is them. Shifra Knanit, Evet Divri, Ama Ivriya. We start with them. All the purpose for us is to receive Nefesh of Atzilut, to release that place, and to start to live.
You'll go no higher.
Exactly.
Than the Shmiya.
Exactly. This is what we saw. So now it's telling you, you know what? When your soul comes from the 3 kings, what's happened? The name of your soul is Orla. Quand ton âme vient des 3 rois ici qu'on a vu la semaine dernière, le nom de ton nom, c'est, de ton âme, c'est Prépuce. Orla. Or, la peau. Ou sinon la peau. Or, the skin. Vesham Yechola Klipat Nogaa Dabeg Ba'em Mamash. And say in that place, when you have only your soul in that place, Klipat Noga can be connected to you. Quand tu es à ce niveau-là, la Klipat Noga se colle à toi. So every time you don't deal with the Nefesh of Atzilut, be careful. Klipat Noga can be playing with you. Why? Because she do have 10 keter. We saw it. All the purpose for you is to escape from that world, to achieve the level of Nefesh of Atzilut, which is called that Zeira Ila'a. Yeah.
I just wanted to remind myself about this last week. I think in something that I said, I don't know whether he said, I think, or he said by definite. He said, most of the souls that are produced in these 3 worlds are Shedim.
Yeah.
What?
Shedim.
And 99% of us are produced in these 3 worlds.
Shedim is what?
Demons.
So let's say, like again, like I don't want to put people down or whatever, but you could then say that, because the Jew is such a small population, that the majority of the demons would be non-Jews, or is it the way to look at it? Sorry, I have to. I'm just thinking out loud.
We are talking only about Jewish soul.
Okay, so 99% of the Jewish souls could be negative then.
Wow. That money, right? We're looking out in this money, not like
I'm gonna say, get a few lines, you're gonna You say, you know what? Klipat Noga can, if you have this only, Klipat Noga is your best friend. Si tu as que ça, la Klipat Noga se colle à toi.
Final question. So 1% is made Atzilut, 99% in here.
This one who are from Atzilut, they even don't feel attraction to sin. They are here, they see Torah. The Torah.
That's the main thing you're teaching us last week, is that when they do it with their wife, they don't think of it for pleasure, they don't do it for fun, they're doing it because it's mitzvah, and that's it.
Yeah. You look at them left, if Torah seems to be so easy. But the Bassar seems to be, I enjoy my life. Hafiz, you have this full in your house, you're not happy. He's happy, he's calm talking to you. He said, my son, God loves you. You say, yes, I know he loves me. You say, no, he loves you. But you don't understand. It's Nefesh of Atzilut, t'as aucun problème. Ta Torah, c'est l'essentiel. Tu veux que ça. Tu forces pas. You're not fighting with yourself. Basically, you and Sarah become your best friend.
Bah, donc si tu dis ça, c'est dire
Non, ce que je dis, c'est quand tu as Nefesh d'Atzilut et que tu n'as plus les Nefesh qui viennent d'ici, tu luttes plus contre ton Sarah.
si tu t'en Sarah, c'est ton
C'est
ami.
ton ami. Tu forces pas. Tu n'es pas tiré par la faute. La pensée de la faute te dégoûte. Tu perds pas de temps.
En étudiant ça, qu'on a tiré.
Qu'on comprend déjà comment on va vers là-bas, ouais. So he said now, Bashegatu Lishkov Ima. So he said, you seduce her to sleep with her. She was virgin. La séduit pour coucher avec elle était vierge. Pirouche explanation. Ki gimel klipoot nitbalku ben noga. So what does it mean? So what does it mean you want to sleep with her? So we know that 3 klipot were connected to klipat noga. Which one? Esh, Anan, and Roi Seara. Right?
Right.
Okay. On sait que 3 klipot sont été collés à klipat noga. Esh mitlakachat, Anan gadol, et Roi Seara. And he said, Ve'anoga benara zo. And he said, Noga is on this Nara, this Betula. You understand what he's saying? You have 3 klipot plus 1. The klipat Noga is in the womb of this virgin. And the 3 klipot are on your Yesod, Chaz v'Shalom. So say, this is the secret of the 3 klipot when to connect with klipat Noga. So when you see a virgin, why all the witchcraft, the sorcery want virgin? Because they want the power of klipat Noga. Pourquoi tous ces gens-là ils veulent les vierges quand ils font leur cérémonie? Parce que dans la vierge, il y a la klipat Noga. Et celui qui veut la séduire pour la violer, c'est un homme qui a les 3 autres klipotes qui veulent se coller. You understand now?
Excuse-moi. 2 of the precaution of God in the virgin. I mean, in the virgin.
No, only one. Klipat Noga.
Only one.
Klipat Noga is in virgin. In the virgin.
Okay.
But now the seducer who wants to be with her, to sleep with her,
yeah.
He had 3 klipot. Esh, Mitlakachat, Anan Gadol, and Roi Serah. What do you want to do? You connect. So what do you learn here? That in the virgin, what do you have? Klipat Noga. But Klipat Noga, only, like he said, without the other klipot. Because we know that the bad aspect of Klipat Noga come from the 3 other klipot. From Esh. Connecting, it brings the bad aspect. So the good aspect of Klipat Noga, where is it? In the virgin. That's why we are so proud to say Betulot Israël. Donc il dit quoi? Celui qui veut séduire une vierge, c'est qu'il veut ramener les 3 klipotes sur la Klipat Noga. La Klipat Noga, quand elle n'est pas connectée aux autres klipotes, elle est pure. Elle est que bonne, elle est que sainte. C'est la connexion des 3 autres klipotes qui la rendent mauvaise, 50-50. That's why we fight to keep our daughters virgin. This is a nonsense to go to take the virginity of a Jewish woman. What do you do when you do that? You create the bad aspect of Klipat Noga.
She didn't become a nukva to the Yisod, then she became the 3 levels of the Brit Milah that he removed. It came back on him.
Yeah.
So it was like he undid his bris with this action.
Exactly. So now understand how high, our level is the virgin. C'est Klipat Noga without bad aspect. C'est la Klipat Noga sans le mauvais côté. And he said, without the but, yeah. Kibat Noga only good. Where Noga benarazo, and Noga is only in this teenager, young teenager. Besod orla shel amila beyesod dila. And on this milah, sur sa brit milah, lui, we have the orla. What is the orla? The three levels of the three klipot. I don't understand. I thought it did brit milah. What is the brit milah? It's to remove the klipot. No, because when you want to seduce, you become a seducer, you will build the orla on your brit milah, even if it's done. Like at Amarishon. Même si tu as fait la brit milah, que tu as enlevé le prépuce, en devenant un séducteur, tu remets un prépuce sur ta brit milah, rouchani, spirituel. And they said, Besod, orla, shel milah, besodila, ve'az, netralela. So because of that situation, she became halal. She lost the virginity. Halal. What she had, she lost it. Ce qu'elle avait, elle a perdu. And now look. Ve'az lo tiye la isha. That's why you have to marry her. The wedding is the only way for you to fix that. C'est pour ça que tu dois l'épouser. Le seul moyen que tu as de réparer ce que tu as fait, en ne prenant sa virginité de manière abusive, c'est de la marier. And he said, and now, if somebody understands something, let's me know. Qui? Parce que, because, so through that, Nitaper Moshe le malach. Moshe become an angel.
Wow.
Juste pour la réparation, tu n'es pas obligé de rentrer dans les lois de la Kabbale pour savoir ça, que c'est juste une mesure.
Quoi? Tu as violé une vierge, tu pourrais la famille, elle va te le donner à la mariée. Tu crois qu'elle va accepter de t'épouser?
Non, mais là, c'est différent ce que tu dis.
Non, je dis ça, tu as violé une vierge.
Tu as dit que tu as séduit une vierge.
Non, mais c'est violé. Bien sûr que si.
Ah, non.
On parle de relation sexuelle ici. On parle du yesod qui va dans le yesod. Donc on parle bien d'une relation sexuelle.
Mais pas un viol.
C'est un viol. Non. Ah bon?
Si la fille elle est consentante, elle veut. Et
elle est vierge.
Ouais.
Elle est juive. Elle a appris qu'il faut se marier avant. Tu l'as séduit, tu couches avec elle, tu n'appelles pas ça un viol. Après, tu peux jouer avec les lois. Tu dis, non, je lui ai expliqué ce qui allait se passer. Mais toi, tu sais que la Betula Israël, elle sait qu'il faut pas avant le mariage. Quelle femme juive que...
J'ai compris, tu lui mens en fait.
C'est-à-dire que le viol, ce n'est pas que l'aspect physique. C'est une préparation mentale. C'est plus facile de nos jours de condamner un viol bête et méchant qu'un viol où les femmes te disent j'ai été violée parce qu'il m'a manipulée. On voit les femmes qui souffrent. Elles disent oui, il y avait des mots, il jouait avec moi et ça m'a fait tomber. C'est 3 niveaux d'action, la parole, la pensée et l'action. Donc si je commence à construire un discours qui va lui faire un interdit, c'est un viol. Il n'y a que maintenant que les lois le reconnaissent, mais le Torah le dit depuis longtemps. What I was saying, he said, it's not a rape. I said, you know what? We knew that from the beginning that's the rape. If you use your tongue, you use your words to a virgin woman who knows from the halacha that a Jewish girl has nothing to do with sex before wedding, and you start to talk to her, to bring her to be like more receptive to that idea, it's a rape. Even if you build it with the words and you can have to play with the rules, say, she didn't say no, but look now how many women are suffering to prove that they have been raped, being manipulated by people by using words.
Is rape is verbal or physical?
It's physical because law is law. But someone who wants to keep his virginity, she's holy, she has Torah, and she believes that you also have a Torah. You now start to explain to her some vision, and you start to change her logical. She accepts that, and you go with her. how do you call that?
Rape.
We knew that for many centuries. Only now in the laws of the world, they start to consider that that woman also, who wasn't planning to do that and was just brought in that idea by words, it's also rape.
Un peu l'histoire comme Dina aussi.
Exactly.
But that's a very fine
Bassar
line.
aussi. Parce qu'après, il a vengé son frère, c'était violé. Même si elle était consentante, c'est
Yeah.
ce qui a pris.
The best case, you said, tu as dit là pour l'exemple, c'est Dina. The best case is Dina. Look at the story. She went out. You can say she went out. She was with the girl of the Kenani. The Torah say, Shimon avait said, he raped our sister. Go and say it to Shimon and Levi. No, she was good. Make you hood on your head. We'll finish you in 1 second.
Okay.
Now you see what now thank you, Rabbi David. You see what did Shrem? Dina had the holy klipat noga fixed. And you, Shrem ben Hamor, just came and connect that to free klipat.
His name was Ben Chamo?
Voilà, donc c'est pour ça qu'il voulait
You see how Tzaddik was Shimon and Levi. The real Tzaddik cannot accept that klipat noga as half part of her. You don't have problem with klipat noga when she's in our daughter, she's virgin at home, no problem. But you did that. And look at the word of Shimon. He said he did an abomination, in abomination Israel. See the word. If you don't have this text, don't understand what it is. Wow, okay, they said how many women are raped. No, it's not something.
If the word is not good, you just correct me, please. I have a friend. The cousin, the family, they corrupt, not corrupt, what they call it, rape. Nothing happens.
No reaction?
Oh, yeah, she's crazy. She don't have a husband. She has 2 kids, but she went to hospital. We made that picture. I'm a good friend. She stayed. She went to Sweden. She's my friend. Stayed in my house with me in my house. But anybody that is say some words, she gets crazy. She gets berserk. She can put a knife on you. She's very dangerous.
There is nothing worse. Believe me. There is nothing worse than to do that to a woman.
Mm-hmm. The guy never been judged. He goes in the street.
Many are like this. Many.
Why?
Do you think that Shimon and Levi was waiting for the justice court? They just take the sword, they finished all the village.
It's another reason it's a punishment to marry her, because she's crazy.
And they even don't want to be married to them.
No, of course not. She has trust people close in family, but if she start to think that she wants something,
it's odd.
Why did Yaakov get so upset?
D'ailleurs, tu te souviens, il a dit avant, excuse-moi, vous allez tous vous circoncire, les hommes du village.
Yaakov was upset not because of the reaction, he was upset because of the strategy they practice. Because they told them, we're gonna be one family.
Right.
Convert. So if you are a real man like Pinchas, go take this sword, finish them. What do you want to make a plan? Like, you're afraid of them? Right. There are too many? Right. Just go. If you do that straight, but the problem is you say things. Right. You say convert. They say, okay, we accept. You start to deal. Right. It's not fair.
And that gets a little close to home for Yaakov Avinu, because
right, helping Laban and Eliezer.
Yeah,
like son.
Yeah, exactly.
So now what's happened? He say, through that, Moshe became an angel. Who can listen?
Through what?
I can give you a shot. I can give you a shot.
I have the text like you. I'm just reading the text like you. That's great.
You need to Bassar.
Yeah.
I can give you a very easy shot.
Yeah.
Just like every Avera has a consequence, every mitzvah also something comes out of it. This is a law we have in the Torah that Moshe gave us. The particular result of doing this mitzvah is that Moshe becomes an angel.
But can I?
That's easy shot. I can't do better than that, but it's something.
I get it.
It's a bit. If you think, like this is different wrong thinking. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this. But we read in Parshat Mishpatim about this angel that will guide you, Nachon. And the gematria of an angel is the same gematria as Shakai. Nachon. But Moshe is in a way above that angel because it's Kel Shakai is the same gematria as Moshe. So is it fair to say that Moshe became an angel? It sounds almost like he became like him, where it's like it seems like he was already above him in the first place.
I'll agree with you. It's exactly that. But the question is,
It sounds like he was lower. It doesn't go up.
how did he get this hood? What happened to him to do that?
No, it's a Yerida, like he's saying. We're dealing with the Olamos of
Moshe
Bria.
should be higher than the
You know,
angel.
the Malachim are rooted in,
Seems like it
in
goes
Bria.
down. Not up.
Moshe's, we're talking about Neshamos of Asilut. So Moshe Rabbeinu obviously is the Neshama from Asilut. And when this happens, it's like his Shoresh gets re-implanted into Bia and all the Torah, because he is the Torah. The Torah becomes Pshat, becomes Peret. And we lose the Sod.
Wow.
Yoshiao inspired. You see, in my notes, I have one note telling me, go in Likutei Torah. It's the same story, but the stories change. Torah, Daf Kuf Nun He.
Who wrote that? The Torah.
Huh?
Who wrote it?
Pitouye. Kuf
Mr. Kalates.
Nun He. Kuf Nun He. In Likutei Torah, if you want it, it's Yud Aleph. You have also one here. Just a Yud Aleph. Yeah. Kuf Nun He. Give cooperation. Daf Kuf Nun He. You have in the top of the page on the right side, Onesh Amepate. So it's the same text. Same text. I read.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Kuf Nun He.
Kuf Nun He.
I have one if you guys want. I grabbed it off the shelf already.
Yeah. Let me know when you find it on the shelf. Okay. C'est da, no. כי כל פיתוי זה הוא בנוקבה דברייה על ידי נוגה. So the language not the same, but the same thing. And he said, והעניין, כי נוגה נקרא אורלה, it's change. In the other we said that it's the free clipot which are called orla. He said it's noga. ונקרא אור, and it's called skin. כנזכר בפרשת תצווה בזוהר, אוקיי. ושם יכולה הקליפת נוגה להידבק. אוקיי, קליפת נוגה can connect. I don't understand, it's קליפת נוגה. How can קליפת נוגה connect to himself? What are you talking about? So if you don't have this text in Likutim, you're lost. That's why you need Likutim first. And he said, אבל באצילות אינו יכולה להידבק. But in אצילות, קליפת נוגה cannot be connected. Okay. כמו שכתוב, לשכב עמה, פירוש כי Gimel klipot nidbaku benoga. Okay, say the same thing here. When you sleep with her, the three klipot, which are Esh, Midlakachat, Roa, Seran, and Gadol, they connect with Noga. Ve'anoga benarazo. So Noga is in this betula, in his virgin woman. Besod orla shel mila. So it's connected to orla of mila, and he add vedam and blood, nida, blood of nida. Beyesod nukva. So all this is in the yesod of oil, nukva. Be'az netchalela. So she become halal because you raped her, you took her virginity before the wedding. And now let's say, velot yeisha. So you will have to marry her. Tu dois l'épouser. Ki al yeda nitaper mished le malar. I don't understand. So if I talk the two texts, it's the same text. We are translate from Kitvei Yad. One Kitvei Yad say, Moshe become an angel.
Right.
The other Kitvei Yad does not say, Shed become angel. I don't understand, sorry. Let's say we are not so good to crack the Kitvei Yad. How can you be mixed up between this
From Shed.
how can you mixed up from this to that?
Yeah.
Let's say, okay. But how can you mix up from here to Dalet? Parce qu'on a pris deux textes différents. Qui te varie. Un, il te dit Moshe est devenu un ange. Là, il te dit un démon est devenu un ange. What's your tradition, Sadiq?
On a pas.
Hein?
Ce que j'ai compris, what I understand, when he seduced her,
It just says by al yada, both of these things happen. So
Yeah.
it depends on what happens to her. If he marries her, he changes the shade into a malach. And if he doesn't marry her, Moshe descends from Atzilut, the Torah descends from Atzilut into the kever of Bia and becomes Shatim. And
I agree with you. But my question is, what the connection with that kind of story in Moshe? Why did you say virgin in the story of Moshe? Her mother wasn't virgin. She had already babies before. The queen of Cush wasn't virgin. She was married before. He married Tzipporah. She was virgin.
he's the Chatan of the Shekhinah. The
Explain to me.
Shekhinah is like a Basula.
Uh-huh.
Or not. When Klal Yisrael acts a certain way, they make the Shekhinah into a Zonah or a Na'ara that's Mefateh.
So the Shekhinah is Tzipporah.
No, the Shekhinah is the feminine aspect of Klal Yisrael on the highest level.
Okay.
Yes.
So every marriage
On se parle.
is Moshe entering under the chuppah with the Shekhinah.
So my question is, Am Yisrael is a Tzipporah, Shekhinah de Tzipporah?
Meaning Moshe's wife?
C'est bien Israël quand ils étaient
Yes.
au plus haut niveau. Ils étaient
Yeah.
vierges. C'est ça?
What did the Shekhinah do? What did Tzipporah do regarding that story?
Ah, la circoncision.
Thank you.
The Mila of the angel. Of the
son.
baby.
Which baby?
Gershom.
Gershom. So what's happened now? We can start to get something. What's happened now? What is this two texts? Why do you talk about virginity, Orla?
Ah, le Nachash. Non, pas le Nachash, c'était le.
Yishuv.
Nachash, that was Nachash.
What is this story? Rabbi Shlomo, it's for you. What is this story? All the secret is to understand how to protect the Betula. Rabbi Oshiyahu told us that the secret of Am Yisrael. Yes, Shekhinah, I agree. But why in the story here you talk Moshe? What's the connection between Moshe and that story? Okay, he brought all the Torah, he brought the Halacha. We get it, okay. But why do you talk about him? In one text, you said to me that from this moment, Moshe became an angel. Yes, he became an angel. But the highest level of angel. How? The angel of service. When he comes down, he had this masve. You cannot look at him in the face. He was too lighty. Yeah, masve. Become an angel. Moshe was the malach sent. When God say, Ki melacha yetzavela lishmacha b'kol derachecha. Who is it? Moshe. HaKadosh telling. He's the angel. Okay. But now, why you talk about the shed become malach?
When you
Parce
marry.
que
No, what? I don't know if when you marry Earth. It seems to me when you fix that situation in your own life.
parce que en fait dans l'histoire, si on reprend l'histoire, en fait, il est parti sans faire il n'a pas fait la
You don't
circoncision.
do the milah. Okay.
Voilà, donc ça. Donc s'il n'a pas fait, c'était un chef, et maintenant qu'il a fait, il est devenu un ange. Sa femme, elle est devenue, c'est grâce à sa femme, et elle dit maintenant, mon mari, c'est un ange. Became an angel.
Thank you. He's in the way. It's what he said. He said, no, because before the Brit Milah that Tzipporah did, it was the shed. Moshe was a shed.
Because he forgot to break Milah.
Because of the Brit Milah. Yes, but no. Moshe wasn't a shed. Moshe just saved the people. He's received the vision of Elohim. Reçoit la vision d'Elohim. Telling him, Moshe va sauver le peuple. Il est pas
Son fils.
Thank you, the
Son
son.
fils. The son is what shed.
So it means
Because-
in that text it's Moshe, in that text is the son.
Because il n'avait pas la Milah. C'est pour ça que c'est un shed. Quand tu as l'or là, tu es un shed.
So my question, what did Gershom to show
Un
that?
shed.
No, what did he do to show that he's an angel now?
What did he do?
Nada.
Because it's written
C'est
here.
quoi, t'as dit quoi comme question?
Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait pour montrer qu'il est un ange maintenant, Gershom? Il t'a fait Michel les malars.
He had Brit Milah, right?
Yes. But every baby who become an angel?
No.
But he
He
had Brit Milah.
came out of the Nachash. Nachash was
So,
swallowing him.
That's Moshe.
look the story. Was swallowing the baby or Moshe?
That's Moshe. Moshe came out.
Moshe, not the baby.
The baby.
Come again?
The baby was swallowed by the Nachash.
Which
Yeah, so-
midrash you quote?
Not Midrash. Chochmah, Torah.
Il a avalé.
Non,
je
c'est
sais
un
pas.
Tzadik שלנו, give me.
Donne-moi
le חומש, donne-moi le חומש.
Yeah, well,
Which one?
Moshe says it's Moshe. It's not the baby.
It's Moshe? Moshe? Okay.
It's such a strange story.
It's just to do the definitely not.
Oh.
Maybe it's a machlokes, who knows?
Yeah, a lot of the time it's actually,
If he's calling me midrash, then I can have machlokes.
No, Chas v'Chalila. No, they didn't even celebrate Milah. So when they go to Egypt, all of a sudden, they're on the way, and there's this very difficult to understand story where they're in the middle of the midbar. Moshe, Sipporah, and the two kids. The younger son, Gershom, he hasn't been circumcised, and a snake comes and attacks their kid. And
swallows up somebody.
someone calls up somebody, either Moshe or his son. That's what we're going to see now.
And then she made the bread and she took
ואמרת
threw it and
אל פרעה, כה אמר אדוני, בני בכורי ישראל, ואמרת אליך, שלח את בני ויעבדוני, ותעמד ושלחו הנה, אנוכי הורג את בנך. בכוריך, ויהי בדרך במלון, ויפגעו אדוני, ויברק חמיתוהו, ותיקח ציפורה צור, ותכרות את אורלאה בנאה, ותגעה לרגליו ותאמר, כי חתן דמים אתה לי, ויכאב ממנו אז אמרה חתן דמים ומולט.
That's the Torah, now Rashi.
Huh?
I have to read this the Torah, everybody knows Torah, but now Rashi, but that's what she said.
Well, before Rashi, I want to see what you understand first.
Okay, but shut, like everybody knows this.
Okay, what do you know? Tell me.
So she makes a milah, and then she says, like, I think by the blood he has, I've like liberated him by the blood or something. Like she makes like something with blood. That's the main thing here. She takes a
So like
stone,
a
she
bridegroom.
circumcised the baby, and then just by the blood he has to be redeemed or something.
So no, what you said, it said that Moshe was swallowed by the snake.
That's Rashi, I think. Like, that's Rashi.
Yes, but before I go in your direction, you agree with me that it's not so obvious in the text.
It's never
So-
is. You need the Rashi. You need the before.
I know.
What do we know?
What do we know? Do you know Rambam?
You know, you go.
Do you know
go next door. They say they
David?
don't have anything.
No. The problem is not here. You have to know that when it comes about Mifashim, you have to know which one you use. You have used our mind. We are more in Ramban. We're not Rashi. Ramban, we what the Torah gives to Rashi, say, Rashi, thank you, Tzaddik, but it's not like this. You know that?
You guys are revolutionary.
No. We all just people who are coming in, they already know
Well,
Rashi.
teach you always.
Before you go deeper, you have to know Rashi. But once you know Rashi, let's start to study now.
Next step. Yeah. I actually said, I think last week in this year, I said Rashi is the switchboard.
Yeah.
It connects you to the next level.
That's good.
So I say, here's the text. Rabbi Shlomo, what I can say it for you, just to finish, it's like this. These, you will not have answer. Because I want you to come back to explain me these two texts. In Tamei Mitzvot, in Mishpatim. And regarding what we studied before, it can be helpful about Bassar and Halav. But like this, I will know that you are not joking there, not going on holidays. So to understand what is the story telling us, is the two texts true? Did one of them read not so well the Pitouye and read Moshe instead of Mished? Maybe, but this is the challenge, because we know that when you teach, you have to reveal this and to hide this. So I bless you for all the good time, the good learning, the good meeting, the good people you're gonna meet there in Tsfat. Be always a light for them. Be like you are with us, giving and not waiting for receiving anything from anybody. But just give. Give your Torah, give your time, give to people.
But
You
not to
never
the sauna.
lose. Not to the zone.
But trust the
Can I take a picture?
Yeah. It's here and here. Give to people, and you will never be losing. You'll be a winner. When you have the power to give, like said Rabbi Yishuv at the beginning, when you have the power to give, you know it's a strength. You don't think that giving is like you're a loser. No. When your hand is so willing to give, you are the man of the place. So, thank you very much. And now it's your turn to bless us. Rabbi Benjamin, comment est-ce que pour split le jus d'orange? Thank you.
So every day you
Thank you very much.
do the English program starting from what hour?
In the afternoon. The morning I'm doing the French.
1, 2 o'clock?
Yeah. 1
o'clock is the English.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank everyone for all the very kind words that were said. And it's definitely difficult to leave here. I've had really in my life, now they've both been recent, like 2 major shifts in leaving places. One was becoming Baal Tshuva 2 years ago and living in the United States. And then now living here, moving up north. And even though the first one was spent 35 years of my life in the US with friends and family, I can also say that this is a harder move to move after 2 years of being in Yerushalayim, 1 year being here. When I left the US, I told a handful of very close friends, and obviously my family knew. but the rest was pretty much social media accounts deleted, and I just decided that I wasn't running away from anything. All my things were done in my 20s. That was my criminal time. My shed hustle. But I was really running towards coming back to myself. Is why I chose to start a life in Israel and being a come as well. And so now leaving here, it's a much different situation because everyone here is like family, as Moshe mentioned. Just being here and having, I didn't have a going away party in the U.S. It was just pretty much pick up and go. And here, I didn't really expect this. I didn't know. Obviously, we all have grown tremendously together in the past year, and what an amazing year. We've had a lot of life events happen, as you pointed out, marriage, and I think for me the culmination of really of everything and what we're doing here was on Thursday. We're it really hit me, and that's why Friday was such. Even the next day is always kind of a drop. For me, it was analogy would be like a tightrope walker. He's walking and he falls, but there's still a sheet to catch him and push him back up a little. Thankfully that was Rosh Chodesh. Otherwise it could have been nasty. Thursday was incredible. Even for the ones that weren't here, the whole year just in itself was an amazing year of growing together. But Thursday was one of those days where we the Americans have fraternal frat initiations, and that's all Chitsonia, very physical aspect of the army has their ways of cohesion. But I think what we've done here in the past year and Thursday was a microcosm of the entire year. I don't want to say it's the pinnacle because we're going to keep going up and up and up, but for sure it was a microcosm of the growth and the brotherhood and the friendships that we've grown in the past year. And all of us did our tikkun, and so we're all trying to find our own personal geula and to refine our midot, to fix ourselves, but at the same time we're not only connecting back to our own self, but connecting to each other as well. So I bless us that we all continue to connect to our true selves, to the Havaya, the Nefesh Sechli in us, and all of our midot are refined, and that we can really all connect to each other from Havaya to Havaya without any blockages, and we all continue to grow up and up and up together as a community.
מזל טוב, ברכה והצלחה, הכל מכל כל. Be blessed, be blessed, be protected. You're gonna make it happen, don't worry, it's a fight. Don't see? It's a G.I. Joe.
You made this happen. Look at this.
You think we do? We deserve a Birkat HaMazal. We ate one, right?
She is pretty soon.
On va faire Mincha ou je sais pas.
Hein?
On fait Mincha ou je sais pas.
You have minyan?
Ouais.
Let's do mincha. Shlomo, you want to do the Sha'at Tzibur? Daven mincha? When is the Shkia?
20.
27.
10 minutes.
Avi Osha, you want to do Sha'at Tzibur? No?
Is there better, less...
Bye bye Rabbi Carlos, on se tient au courant à faire mincha.
D'accord, ça marche, bye bye.
Bye bye, je te rappelle. Je t'ai pas oublié.
Ok, tu auras le temps aujourd'hui ou j'attends?